Great to be back with you, and let's go right to the author of the book, In Trump We Trust, E Pluribus Awesome. Of course, I'm talking about our friend Ann Coulter. Hello, my dear. How are you today?
So depressed. How are you?
I know. You and I on Twitter last night, I kept retweeting you going, oh, thank God I'm not the only one who feels this way.
What is going on?
Well, I'm asking you. You wrote the book. You tell me.
I think he needs to read it. It describes why we loved him, including Chapter 6 on comparing him to all these ridiculous Republicans who want to be Reagan, not realizing it's not 1980 anymore. And they all just repeat the nostrums that, were relevant 30 years ago but aren't now, including this constant desire to go to war. Back in 1980, we were facing a worldwide communist domination of the world. I mean, country after country was falling to communism. We had the Soviet Union shooting down our planes over Vietnam. We had the Soviet Union moving further and further into Eastern Europe and vowing to destroy the United States of America. Okay, that's done. Does anybody remember? Reagan won the Cold War. The enemy today is a very, very different enemy. We aren't worried about a Red Dawn style, Soviet agents coming in and taking over the country or the whole world swinging under the sway of the Soviet Union. Today, the enemy comes in on immigration visas and then flies planes into our skyscrapers or blows up a community center, shoots up a community center in San Bernardino or shoots up the gay nightclub. It's a completely different enemy. Trump seemed to be the only one who understood the world has changed and doesn't just go through the same old cliches of the Republicans about, showing force. And he saw a sad picture on TV, so now he's going to throw out everything he said about Syria in particular. I mean, it's not just his overall position, as he said beautifully, I might add, beautifully in that State of the Union address, in his inauguration address, and on many speeches on the campaign trail. I am not running to be president of the world. I am running to be president of America, and I will put America's interests first. But now we hear he saw the sad picture, which, let's be honest, is probably faked. It makes no sense that Assad would do this, but we can put a pin on that and get back to that. How about showing Trump some pictures of the women and children who have been raped and murdered by illegal aliens and legal aliens? Could we get a little action on even slowing down the refugees? I mean, so I was just responding to a tweet before I came on with you, and some brainless zombie had tweeted, people who get upset with Trump, the very first time you disagree with him, were never Trumpers to begin with. Okay, how about the 27th time? We have Mattis. We have half of Goldman Sachs working in the White House. We have Nikki Haley at the UN. We have allegedly him considering Mr. Amnesty Kevin McCarthy to replace Steve Bannon right now. We had Obamacare Light. We have him not hiring Chris Kobach, not hiring Corey Lewandowski. There are about two people I trust in that White House right now, and he's not listening to them.
Ann Coulter, what about Steve Bannon here? Because some people have said that Steve Bannon would have talked him out of doing this strike in Syria had he been able to have a greater seat at the table. So that's probably a bad sign, right?
It sure looks like it to me. I mean, I don't know. I will say that I'm often dubious, skeptical, let me say, of these media reports on internal clashes of the White House. It always seems like one side is leaking or the other side is leaking, and, who knows what's really going on. But based on everything Bannon has said, his entire approach, I mean, it is the Trump approach. And it just seems like this is the rise of the military-industrial complex, the neocons, the let's go, permanent war. No president meddling in the Middle East has ever been helped by that. Never, never, never. Even stupid things that Obama did. I mean, for example, on Syria, the red line he drew, and then he ends up being humiliated by doing nothing when allegedly, and again, I'm not sure we know that time Assad had used chemical weapons. That was the allegation. But, of course, there were allegations of stockpiles of weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, so we don't even know if that's true. But it did look embarrassing, the red line. But did that hurt him? No, just don't get involved, and we don't care. The rest of the world, most of the rest of the world, are savages. They are tribal. They are always slaughtering one another. And what America ends up doing is coming in on one side of a bar fight that's been going on for centuries. We take the loser side. Well, you know, the losers in this case are Al-Qaeda and ISIS. We've become Al-Qaeda's Air Force after they attacked us on 9/11 now.
Well, that's not an understatement, Ann Coulter. By the way, Ann Coulter is the author of the book In Trump We Trust, De Pluribus Awesome, so she's got a lot of credibility here. And you can. I mean, you can disagree with somebody who I would say, ferociously supported since the minute he decided to run for president. So you're allowed. You know, you really are.
Well, he needs to read it. He's going against all the reasons we voted for him and supported him. I mean, there were candidates who promised to meddle in the Middle East, who promised to attack Syria.
Lindsey Graham.
Marco Rubio.
Oh, by the way, just tweeted a picture of a guy holding some kids who were hurt in the attack. It's a heartbreaking picture, but, you know, at the same time, should our foreign policy be dictated by that kind of emotion? And I understand how bad these attacks were and the implications of genocide and everything else, but this kind of stuff happens all over the world. Where does it stop if this is going to be the U.S.'s new mission?
Yeah, we need to start showing Trump pictures of all of Kate Steinle. Can we all send in pictures of Kate Steinle so we can remind him what we wanted him to be doing? He's letting in more refugees than Bush. Deportations have not gone up. The Dreamers program has utterly unconstitutional, has not been ended. I guess we're waiting for proposals on the wall, but wow, if we're going to war with Syria, then expect that to get scuttled too. This isn't why he was elected. Everything I write in Trump We Trust, that is the Trump we voted for. And it's not like, we were just guessing that these were his what he thought. I tweeted out earlier today. I wish I could send it in an email. All I can do is send the link. Somebody had put together just statement after statement from Trump on what to do with Syria, and he was completely right during the campaign.
Yeah, including to ask for congressional authorization.
Yes, and to say they're fighting ISIS. I don't think we want to stop Assad from doing that. It's not clear that our intervention would make things better. I mean, of course Assad is a bad guy. Everybody's bad over there. But he's secular, and by the way, he's protecting the Christians. Nobody's checked with the Syrian Christians over there. They are terrified of Assad being taken out because they will be wiped off the face of the earth. So we are now staging a sort of reverse crusades where we help wipe out Christianity in the Middle East.
Wow, Ann Coulter, that is quite the statement right there. And I think a lot of people listening are saying, you guys sound mean. These are rebels. These are rebels fighting Assad, and we should be on the side of the rebels. I don't believe that, Bob. This is what people are saying.
Right. These, quote, rebels, this is Al-Qaeda's new base. They move into these towns. You can read about it. They move into these towns, put the women in veils, separate the men and women, don't let the children get educated, and there are pictures of Osama bin Laden all over the walls. That's who we're helping here. And if we could just get back to a small point. I mean, not that I think it matters, because, again, I wanted Trump to be president of America, not president of the world. We need to save ourselves before we can be rushing around saving the rest of the world. But even apart from that general philosophy, I mean, we didn't rush into Rwanda. The Houthis killed 500,000 Tutsis. We can't save everybody. We need to save ourselves right now. But apart from that, okay, about 75 Syrians were killed in this attack. I mean, you really have to ask yourself, as many British papers are doing, they're skeptical of this, and you can see that online. Why would Assad do this? He's winning he has all the traditional military artillery right now. Why would he do this and bring international condemnation on himself? It seems much more likely, and the rebels have done it before, that they did this themselves.
Ann Coulter, in Trump We Trust. As always, you have not disappointed with your passion today, so thank you for that, my friend.
Well, let's hope Trump comes back to the Trump we voted for.
You're not giving up on him yet?
No, I think, please, I hope we don't have to fly a Goldman Sachs flag over the White House.
Have a great weekend, Ann Coulter. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.